Sampurnammal. Bhagwan's relationship with the cooks was unique. He interacted with them, mostly child widows, like a friend. It was a simple, warm relationship, but at the same time, he imparted to them the same high teaching that he shared with great scholars. He enabled them to experience the real depth of the teaching. This is a sure sign that the true guru has always been, is, and will forever be impartial in imparting the highest teaching to one and all. Varanasi Sampurnammal became a widow at the age of 16. Her only support was her mother, who was also a deeply spiritual person. They lived in a village near Nellore. They often went on pilgrimages to temples situated in other places. On one of their pilgrimages, they happened to come to Arunachala. When they heard of a young ascetic staying at Virupaksha cave, they paid a visit to the cave. As soon as Sampurnammal saw Bhagwan, she had the conviction that Arunachala himself had come in human form. In her own words, he was about 30 at that time. He was bright and shining like burnished gold. His eyes were blooming like the petals of a lotus. An immense peace surrounded the Swami. When she was 31 years old, she came again to Bhagwan. By now, he had come to the present ashram at the foot of the hill. She could spend only a very short time. A year passed. She longed to be in the presence of Bhagwan and waited for the opportunity. One day, she had a dream in which a learned pundit, well known to her, told her, "Where is the need for you to search elsewhere? Entrust yourself to Bhagawan Ramana. He is God himself. He will lead you to salvation." Along with her friend, Nellore Parvatama, she reached the presence of Bhagwan. Both of them had planned to travel to Varanasi, Benares, and settle down permanently in that holy city. Before embarking on such a vital pilgrimage, she wanted spiritual guidance from Bhagwan. She asked Bhagwan, "What is Atma, the self? Is it the limitless ether of space, or the awareness that cognizes everything?" Bhagwan looked at her intently and said, "Abide in the self free from thoughts, instead of inquiring about the nature of the self." Sampurnammal felt her mind melting away. No thought arose. Only the feeling of immense peace pervaded her whole being. Sampurnammal forgot about the Varanasi pilgrimage and instead stayed in town and came to the presence of Bhagwan every day, immersing herself in the silence and peace. Then, at the request of Bhagwan's sister, Alamelu Ammal, she agreed to help with the cooking in the ashram. The presence of Bhagwan guiding them in the kitchen gave her a fillip to continue her services. Her attachment to the strict orthodox way of life and the heaviness of work demanding her whole attention made her go back to her village. As time passed, she started feeling a vacuum in her meditation. The anguish caused by staying away from the guru made her come back to the ashram. She experienced peace and was even happier to learn that on that very morning of the day that she arrived, Bhagwan had told Sampurnammal to reserve some food for Sampurnammal, who was arriving that day. This deep love of Bhagwan and his paying special attention to her, even in her absence, made her stay with Bhagwan and serve him the rest of her life. Again, she started feeling that the load of work thrust on her in the kitchen was preventing her from meditating. The master understood her anguish and told her one day, "It looks as if you are still hankering after meditation." She replied, "Yes, Bhagwan, but what have I got except endless work in the kitchen?" Bhagwan smiled at her and said, "Your hands may do the work, but your mind can remain still. You are that which never moves. Realize that, and you will find that work is not a strain. As long as you think that you are the body and that you are doing the work, you will feel your life to be an endless toil. In fact, it is the mind that toils, not the body. Even if your body keeps quiet, will your mind keep quiet too? Even in sleep, the mind is busy with its dreams." She asked, "Why can't I always remember that I am not the body?" Bhagawan smiled and replied, "Because you haven't had enough of it." Subbulakshmi Ammal used to fast very often, as she had read in one of the ancient texts. He who wants to know himself and yet pays attention to his body is like a man who trusts a crocodile to carry him across a river. She showed this passage to Bhagawan. He replied, "It does not mean that you should starve. You need not torture the body. It only means not giving the body more than what it needs. With your mind, hold on to the inquiry and just keep the body going so that it does not become a hindrance. For this, pure, fresh food simply prepared and taken in moderation is a great help." On another occasion, when she asked Bhagawan's permission to put on the sannyasin's orange robes and beg for food, Bhagawan sternly told her, "Will colored clothes give you renunciation? First learn what sannyasa means." One day, a group of people sat in front of Bhagawan and sang a hymn in praise of the Guru. Bhagawan got up in the middle of the recitation and went away saying, "Prayers and praises will not take one very far. It is the merciful look of the Guru that bestows true wisdom." Subbulakshmi Ammal felt proud that she had received Bhagawan's grace of glance fully, not once, but many a time. But the next day, Bhagawan turned to her and spontaneously said, "Unless one becomes like a 6-month-old baby, there is no hope for one in the realm of true wisdom." Subbulakshmi Ammal recalled, "Living in the presence of Bhagawan by itself was a true sadhana. It was ever like this with him. Whoever went to him, he would go down to their level. His words and gestures, even the intonation of his voice, would adapt themselves to the level of the people around him. With children, he was their playmate. To family people, a wise counselor. To yogis, the god of victory. He saw himself in them, and they saw themselves in him, and their hearts would be bound to his feet in everlasting love. He radiated an overwhelming sense of unity by his mere presence, just as fire spreads light." She added, "Bhagawan was the very embodiment of wisdom and kindness. Though he didn't mind our faults and mistakes, he made us follow his instructions to the letter. We had to do the same task again and again until it was done to his complete satisfaction. Did he do it for himself? Of what use was it to him? He wanted to prove to us that we could do things right, and that only lack of patience and attention causes a mess. He sometimes seemed severe, even harsh, to make us do something correctly, for he knew what we did not know, that we can act correctly if we only try. With experience comes confidence, and with confidence the great peace of righteousness. What a noble teacher of work and wisdom Bhagawan was." To describe the depth of their relationship as guru and disciple, Subbulakshmi Ammal said, "In his presence, every moment we felt that he was God. Even that feeling we owed to his grace, for he would from time to time let us see him as he really was, the Lord Almighty, and not the human frame to which we were accustomed. It was our love for him, a reflection of his love, that chained us to his feet and made us stay. For him we gave up hearth, home, and all our earthly ties. We only knew we were safe with him, that in some miraculous way he would take us to our goal. He himself was our goal, our real home."